Ladies and gentlemen, today, I invite you to explore a profound question. Is your mother the key? The key to what, you ask? The key to unlocking the deepest layers of your psyche, the hidden chambers of your soul, and the journey toward your true self. The figure of the mother goes far beyond the simple role of caregiver or nurturer in our early lives. She stands as a timeless symbol, an archetype that resonates deeply within the collective fabric of our unconscious mind. From the very moment of our existence, the mother is the first connection we have with the world, not only physically, but psychically. She embodies the origin of life itself, the fertile source from which all growth springs. This archetype is a living vessel of ancient wisdom, mystery, and the unknown depths that lie beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. Within the mother archetype resides a powerful duality. She is both protector and devourer, creator and destroyer. She offers warmth and safety, but she also represents the overwhelming, engulfing forces of nature and emotion that can sometimes feel threatening or confining. This paradox reflects the complexity of the unconscious realm she guards. The unconscious is vast, enigmatic, and full of hidden meaning. It is a realm where instinct, intuition, and raw emotion mingle in a mysterious dance beyond the reach of our everyday rational mind. The mother archetype, as the embodiment of this domain, invites us to acknowledge and explore these depths. To understand the mother archetype is to begin a journey inward, a journey toward recognizing the hidden parts of ourselves that shape our identity yet remain unseen. She is the threshold to the dark and fertile ground where our unconscious roots grow. In her presence, we learn to listen to the silent language of dreams, symbols, and feelings that speak to us in codes older than words. She calls us to embrace the fullness of life's cycles: birth, growth, decay, and renewal. The unconscious she represents holds the key to healing wounds we often don't realize we carry, wounds imprinted from our earliest experiences and the collective human story. When we awaken to the power of this archetype, we begin to realize that the mother is not just a figure from our past, but a living presence within our psyche that continues to shape our inner world. She influences our emotional landscape, our capacity for empathy, creativity, and our relationship to the mystery of existence itself. In a sense, the mother archetype is the very soil in which our soul takes root, and from which our personal growth springs forth. By opening ourselves to her influence, we allow the unconscious to reveal its secrets, and in doing so, we step onto the path of deeper self, understanding, and wholeness. The relationship with the mother is often our first encounter with the complex and sometimes contradictory nature of human emotion, and through this relationship, the shadow within us begins to emerge. The shadow is that hidden part of ourselves, the collection of feelings, desires, and impulses we deny, repress, or find unacceptable. It is the dark side of the psyche that lives beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. When we look into the eyes of our mother, we do not only see comfort and love, we also come face to face with the unspoken tensions, fears, and unmet needs that shape us deeply. The mother, as a mirror, reflects both the light and the darkness within us. This reflection is not always gentle. The bond between mother and child can reveal powerful emotional undercurrents, moments of tenderness interwoven with feelings of frustration, resentment, or fear. These experiences plant seeds for the shadow to grow. The mother can sometimes embody the source of these uncomfortable feelings, not because of any malice, but because the unconscious mind tends to store experiences that feel overwhelming or confusing. As children, we may sense her limitations or disappointments, and in response, parts of ourselves retreat into the shadows, hidden from conscious view. Recognizing this shadow is essential because it holds the parts of our personality that we tend to reject, yet these parts carry vital energy and truths about who we are. The mother's role in this process is paradoxical. She both awakens and challenges the shadow. She stirs the depths of emotion, and through this stirring, she calls us to a deeper self-awareness. Encountering the shadow in relation to the mother invites us to face the uncomfortable realities of our origins, to see the full complexity of love and pain, nurture, and limitation. By acknowledging this shadow, we begin to dismantle illusions and incomplete perceptions about ourselves and our relationships. The process requires courage, for it means embracing aspects of our inner world that we might have wished to deny. But within this courageous facing lies the potential for profound healing and transformation. The mother-shadow relationship becomes a gateway through which we reclaim disowned parts of ourselves, integrate them, and move toward greater wholeness. This integration also reshapes our understanding of the mother herself. No longer seen solely through the lens of childhood experience, she transforms into a symbol of the whole psyche, a figure who embodies both light and dark, strength and vulnerability. In this light, the mother is not simply a person, but a profound psychological force that helps us learn how to hold tension, accept contradiction, and grow beyond simple dichotomies. In this way, the shadow and the mother are intimately connected. The mother stirs the shadow challenges the mother, and through their interplay, the path to self-discovery and inner harmony unfolds. This dynamic is not just a personal drama, but a universal experience, a fundamental step on the journey toward becoming fully realized human beings. Within the depths of the human psyche, the mother stands as the guardian of the self, the center and totality of our being that seeks unity and harmony within. From the earliest moments of life, the mother serves as a living container, a sanctuary in which the seeds of identity and individuality are nurtured. She holds space for the emerging self, not only physically through care and protection but also psychically, providing the foundation upon which the sense of I begins to form. The mother's presence offers an essential safety that allows the fragile self to unfold, explore, and begin the lifelong process of becoming whole. The self is not merely the ego or conscious identity, but the greater integrated essence that unites all parts of our inner world, light and shadow, conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine energies. The mother, in this role, is much more than a biological figure. She is an archetypal force that embodies the primordial source of wholeness. Through her, the boundaries between the inner and outer worlds are gently bridged. She acts as a guardian, protecting the delicate balance of the psyche and ensuring that the fragmented pieces of experience can be gathered and held together. When we consider the mother as guardian, we recognize her as the keeper of the threshold between the known and the unknown. She guides the early steps of individuation, the process through which we gradually separate from the collective identity and find our unique place in the world. Her role is paradoxical. She simultaneously encourages growth and independence, while also offering a return to safety and connection when the journey feels overwhelming. In this delicate dance, the mother teaches us that true selfhood arises not in isolation, but in relationship, between inner and outer, self and other. The guardian mother also holds within her the wisdom of cycles, birth, growth, decay, and renewal, that are mirrored in our psychological development. She reminds us that becoming whole is not a linear path, but a rhythm of expansion and contraction, of coming together and pulling apart. By holding these rhythms, she helps us to develop resilience and patience with ourselves as we navigate the complexities of life and the unfolding of the self. Moreover, the mother as guardian invites us to honor the sacredness of our inner life. She stands as a protector of our deepest truths, encouraging us to listen to the quiet voice within that speaks of purpose, meaning, and connection to something greater than ourselves. In moments of doubt or fragmentation, this archetypal mother can be called upon as a source of strength, reminding us that the self is always present, waiting to be discovered and embraced. Ultimately, the mother as guardian is a profound symbol of the possibility of integration and healing. She holds the key to the mystery of becoming whole by nurturing the fragile self until it can stand on its own. Through her care, we learn that the journey to the true self is not one we walk alone, but one accompanied by an eternal presence, a guiding force that protects, nourishes, and calls us toward the fullness of our being. The idea of returning to the womb is not to be taken literally, but rather as a profound symbolic journey inward, a journey back to the origin of life and the source of our being. The womb represents a place of safety, unity, and potential, a primordial space where boundaries dissolve and the individual exists in a state of perfect connection with the greater whole. To embark on this inward return is to enter a sacred psychological realm where time and space lose their ordinary meaning, and the soul is invited to remember its origins. This journey back to the womb is a powerful act of surrender. It calls us to let go of the fragmented ego's control, to release the constant striving and resisting that characterizes much of our waking life. In this descent, we confront the deep wellsprings of unconscious memory, emotion, and instinct, those primal forces that shaped us before words and reason took hold. It is here, in this intimate and mysterious place, that healing and transformation can begin, as the psyche reconnects with its foundational experience of wholeness and belonging. The womb symbolizes not only physical birth, but also the symbolic birth of the self, the moment when the inner world is reborn in awareness. Returning to the womb allows us to access that original innocence and openness, a state of being before fragmentation and loss entered our experience. It is a return to a kind of psychological homecoming, where the self can be nurtured, restored, and strengthened for the challenges ahead. This process is essential for true individuation, for without reconnecting to the source, the journey toward wholeness remains incomplete. In this return, there is a paradoxical tension between surrender and emergence. While the womb invites us into stillness, silence, and integration, it also serves as a springboard from which new life bursts forth. It is from this place of deep rest and connection that creative energy is born, energy that fuels growth, renewal, and transformation. Thus, the journey back to the womb is not an escape from reality, but a courageous re-engagement with life on a deeper level. Psychologically, this inward return challenges us to face our fears of dissolution and loss of control, to embrace the unknown and the invisible aspects of ourselves that reside in darkness. It is a process of dying and being reborn in the psychic sense, a shedding of old identities and the emergence of a more authentic self. This cyclical journey mirrors the rhythms of nature and life itself, reminding us that all endings contain the seeds of new beginnings. Ultimately, the return to the womb is a sacred rite of passage. It reconnects us with the nurturing forces that underlie existence and awakens the wisdom that comes from embracing our origins. By taking this journey, we open the door to healing, transformation, and the rediscovery of a profound inner peace that transcends the everyday struggles of life. The womb is both the beginning and the eternal source, a timeless space where the self can rest, be reborn, and find its way home. The mother holds a unique and profound position as the key to connection and meaning, bridging the intimate personal world with the vast collective human experience. She is the first thread that links us to the broader tapestry of life, culture, and shared existence. Through her, we are initiated into the rhythms and patterns that shape not only our individual lives, but also the collective unconscious, the wellspring of symbols, myths, and archetypes that bind humanity across time and space. In this sense, the mother is much more than a caregiver. She is the living embodiment of connection itself. From the earliest moments of life, the mother's presence creates the foundational experience of belonging. This primal bond is not merely physical, but deeply emotional and symbolic. It teaches us what it means to be seen, held, and understood, a fundamental human longing. This experience sets the stage for all future relationships and forms the template through which we interpret the world. The mother's role as a bridge to connection reminds us that our sense of self is always intertwined with others, and meaning arises in the space between self and other. Moreover, the mother connects us to the flow of life itself. She represents the nurturing force that sustains growth, transformation, and renewal, mirroring the cycles of nature and the universe. By embodying this nurturing principle, she calls us to recognize the sacredness of all life and the interconnectedness that underlies existence. The key she holds unlocks a deeper awareness of our place within this vast network, a recognition that our individual journey is part of a larger, unfolding story. Through the mother, we also access the timeless stories and wisdom embedded in the collective unconscious. She is the source of the earliest myths and symbols that resonate within us, carrying messages about life, death, love, and transformation. These universal themes give our lives context and meaning beyond the immediate and personal. The mother archetype thus becomes a gateway to understanding the mysteries of existence, inviting us to engage with the profound questions of who we are and why we are here. In this role, the mother challenges us to move beyond isolation and fragmentation toward unity and wholeness. She teaches us that true meaning is not found in separation, but in relationship, between self and other, between inner world and outer world. By embracing this truth, we open ourselves to the possibility of compassion, empathy, and belonging, which are essential for a meaningful life. Ultimately, the mother, as the key to connection and meaning, offers us a path toward integration and transcendence. She reminds us that our lives are woven into the fabric of the human story, and that through connection, with ourselves, with others, and with the mysteries of life, we find the deeper purpose that sustains us. Holding this key invites us to live not as isolated individuals but as connected beings, part of a greater whole, carrying forward the eternal dance of life and meaning.